For a person that feels lost?
I feel lost often. It's a wonderful thing, meaning that it means that you are ready to start a new chapter of your life. And usually when you start a new chapter, you don't know, maybe sometimes you know, but often you don't really know, because you are about to reinvent yourself. I think feeling lost is it's a wonderful thing. In fact, it's what we should achieve. Or we should all completely get lost, meaning surrender to the moment, and allow the moment and give all our trust to what comes from within ourselves, and that is usually triggered by a deep communion with the moment, the present moment. Mm-hmm. So it's probably the ideal position, the ideal vibrational offer, to be lost, in a sense that you just stop digging from the past, and operate from that point of view, and anticipating what is the future, and then operate from that point of view. And these are two choices that do not allow you to fully connect with the source, which is the part of you that is outside from the idea of time and space, and therefore cannot talk to you, cannot communicate with you, unless you are out of your mind. You really have to be out of your mind in order to be able to connect with the part of you that is at the 0 point. So in a way you can say that getting lost, you're getting closer to that situation where you are now, you have a predisposition for allowing information from the part of you that is non-physical to communicate with you, to give you the information so that you can make new choices. Most of the time, when you are in that position, life will gently and sometimes passionately move you towards mysteriousness, towards unknown territories.
Yeah, but sometimes people get so lost that they just want to get out. You know, they get maybe even a lot of fear they feel to be in this unknown, and so they freak out in a way.
Yes, and that's great. It's great to freak out. Freak out. All the freaks get out, so that I can start to remember, be in connection with my true self, because my true self it never freaks out. It's the unconscious, the hallucination of the mind that takes me to a freaking out situation. It basically means that I'm afraid to lose control. My mind doesn't want to let go. Wants to, despite all the evidences that controlling something is not only useless, but it's also impossible. So when you're thinking you're controlling something, you are in a dream that is not real, it's not true. And so you experience the freaking out moment and just observe it and see what happens. There's a good question you can ask yourself. What is the worst thing that can happen? What is the worst thing that can happen? What? Just make a list of worst things that can happen and see what kind of list come out. And once you make the list, you will actually realize that it's not really a big deal, right? It's not really a big deal. And whatever happened that the mind categorizes are worst are most likely things that you need to let go, so that you can make a list of good things that could happen, that will happen.
Yeah.
So I understand. I have been lost many times, and sometimes I live that experience in a negative way with drama, and sometimes in the past I express that as an excitement way. Oh my God, I'm lost. Wow, now who knows what can happen? Something that I have no clue can get in, and that's exciting. Maybe somebody new will knock on my door, maybe a new situation, maybe a phone call, maybe I will start to perceive reality in a different way, because I will have a new, I have acquired a freshness, a sense of freshness within myself that allow me to see things from different way now. But sometimes, because we have accumulated so much fear and so much, and we got so used to control everything, so in order to break through that that loop, we have to freak out a little bit or a lot of bit, and let's see what happened. You know, let's freak out. You know, you just maybe you want to close all your doors, let everybody out, and then freak out and see what happened. Let's see. You know, what am I going to do? Screaming for a couple hours, and then what? Maybe have a little bit of panic attacks. Again, whatever comes, you just observe it, and neutralize yourself, so you become just an observer that see whatever emotion is to be coming out, and when that will pass, most likely you will be in a position of much higher clarity, and you will be more connected, more tuned in with your intuition, and it will be much easier for you to figure out what you need to do, because you expelled by freaking out, you expelled whatever was there that didn't belong anymore, that was outdated and was interfering between you and the ability to see what needs to be done next.
Can it also go to the other side, that it gets worse?
Yes, of course. Let it be worst. Again, what is the worst thing that can happen? Yeah, of course you will experience discomfort, fear, maybe even some pain at the physical level, depend how rooted is your blocked energy. Because basically it's just energy that is blocked. And it's blocked by illusionary stream of thoughts that you have accumulated as you were journeying into the path of life, and those thoughts were most likely created by your mind, who perceive reality as separation, and therefore it is always in contraction. The mind always operate out of fear. And so as we move forward and we keep making choices from the mind level, we accumulate blockage, we accumulate energy that is stagnant and is fear-based and is in contrast with the reality, which is basically there is only life that supports you 100% and love you unconditionally. So once in a while you have to clean up and purge out of your system this stuff. Sometimes it happens after many lifetimes, or sometimes after a few years or few months. In fact, I suspect that if you can do it regularly, meaning you can allow this emotional blockage to come out more often, the process will be much easier than accumulate it for a long time, which means that basically you have been living in denial. You have been denying that part. You have not been addressing that energy, and you've been pretending. We have been pretending that everything is fine, and then of course at a certain point, all of a sudden, this monster come out of us and wants to freak us out. Well, it's just energy that it needs to be released, and if we are always, we get to a point where we are conscious enough to be always tuned in with life, such event will happen much less and in much more mild way. But if we constantly navigate through the journey of living from our mind, and so we are constantly observing that everything is separate, everything is scarcity, and you have to survive, you have to defend yourself, you have to protect yourself, and of course this freaking out time will occur more often. But basically it's just energy. It's just energy that needs to be released.
Mm.